Well, good morning, coffee time friends. How y'all doing? Let's talk. Let's talk about homemade biscuits. Now I'm going to try to do this standing here and let y'all see everything too. Sometimes where I'm rather tall, and the food's way down here, it's hard for y'all to see. But I've had several new people say, "Do y'all make biscuits?" And I thought, boy, do we ever. We make biscuits. Mama makes biscuits. I make biscuits. So today I'm going to show you one of our recipes. Sometimes we add different things. Sometimes we don't add as much. So this one is my go-to, I guess. Mama makes hers just a little bit different. She likes to hand pat hers. I cut mine, but I don't do a lot of rolling and all that. So I'm going to point you down here, see if I can get you so you can see what I'm doing. So for this biscuit recipe, I'm going to make a little extra today because I've got plans for some dough. So this is going to be 2 heaping cups. Might make it a little bit extra. But 2 cups of white lily self-rising flour is what I'm using. And I'm going to add just a little extra because, like I said, I got plans for a little extra. And I'm going to put just a dash, little spoon here. I ain't going to measure. Just a little bit of baking soda just to get a little rise on them. Just a little bit. And I'm going to put, this is our sugar bowl. And I'm going to put, that'll be 1 teaspoon. And I put two teaspoons of sugar. Mama likes a little sweet. So that's the dry ingredients. Just going to mix that up. This is a Dutch whisk, in case you're wondering what I'm using. It is on our Amazon website. I had seen them before, never had one, and someone sent us one. And I found it to be very good. We also have a blending fork I use, but this was the handiest, so that's what I grabbed this morning. That whisk all that up. Alright, now go ahead and open that up. I'm going to go ahead, and this is some butter flavored Crisco. It may look like butter, but it's really butter flavored Crisco. And I've got my cast iron griddle. This is what we make biscuits in most of the time. Just going to get him greased up here. So when I get ready to go, won't have to fool with that. So that's it. And this is about a good heaping tablespoonful left here. Don't want to waste some of that. If Mama caught me wasting, she would be upset. You don't waste ever. If the Lord blesses you with it, you use it. Now I'm going to open up another. This is how it comes, the butter flavored Crisco. I'm going to open up another little sleeve of it because I don't quite think that's enough. Okay. Because that's 1 tablespoon, and I use a little extra flour today. So I'm going to take my spoon here, and I'm going to put another tablespoon. So 2 tablespoons of Crisco. Butter flavored Crisco. And you want to just mix that in there, in that flour and that baking soda, a little bit of baking soda, and the sugar. And then I'm going to put, this is whole cultured buttermilk. Don't know how much I'm going to put. Depends on the weather outside, depends on a lot of things, but I'm just going to put enough, however much that is. This does seem to be thick, so buttermilk is thicker a lot of times. I'm going to give it a good shake. There, it's a little thinner. Okay. I'm just going to mix all this in together. Cutting that Crisco in with that flour, that baking soda, and that buttermilk all at the same time. Just like that. You can see it starting to crumble in there, and you'll see the consistency it is. And that's your Crisco and your flour and your buttermilk. It's all just getting in there. This is actually working up really well, like you want it to. So I got just about the right amount of buttermilk, and if I had to guess, I'd say that was about a good cup, wouldn't you? Cup and a fourth. So it's all sticking together. See, when I pull that's what I want. I want that to all stick together. The whisk does a good job. Cutting fork does. Some people use 2 forks. Some people use a cutting, you know, the thing. I don't know what's called. Cutting a dough cutter, I guess. So that's it. It's kind of stiff together. To that, I'm just going to add a little bit more self-rising flour. That's just so I can touch it. And then I'm going to flour my board. You know, when you can touch it with a little bit of flour on it, it's just about right. So I'm just going to pull this out of the bowl, just like that. Get all of it. Don't waste it. Get all that goodie out of there. Just like that. So that's it. No, it's not hardly it. So then you just take your flour that you put on top and the flour that's on the board, and you just want to turn it a little bit. Now see, it's kind of not wanting to hold together and all, but that's fine. You're just going to knead it together. And I just fold it. And I fold it. And I fold it. You don't want to overwork your biscuits. That's the reason they don't rise and the reason they're tough. So there you have it. So now it's holding together because I've got enough flour off the board and I fold it. You can still see the chunks of butter in it and all that, and that's fine. So I'm going to give it one more fold, and then I'm going to start working with it. Now the way I do it is different than some you'll see. Some people think you have to do it with just your hands, and if that works, that's great. I don't do that because, well, I don't know. I just never did do that. So I will flatten it out down to about a ½ inch all the way around. So let me take in a little closer. This may get, I don't want to get anybody motion sick, but I want you to see the texture of this dough. See, it's good, it's firm, and you can pick it up. It's a good texture. Hindsight 2020, I probably shouldn't have messed with y'all. Because now I gotta get you back. Technical equipment. If you think cooking's rough, try cooking and filming. Alright, so that's it. That's all you do. Take your dough cutter, your biscuit cutter here. Put a little flour out here. And I'm just going to put it in there. And I start on the very edge. Just like that. And don't twist. I know you'll be tempted to twist, but don't twist. Go straight down, straight up. When you twist, you smooth those edges and they don't rise. So if your biscuits tend to be flatter, you might be twisting your cutter. If you're not cutting, I don't know what it is. Maybe you didn't, something was different, but sometimes it's the weather. But don't twist. And like I said, this is just my biscuits, my recipe, my way. You probably have yours, and it's probably wonderful. And other people say, oh, you have to twist. Okay, that's fine. Twist away. I don't, because I think it keeps them from rising straight up. I want mine just to rise straight up. See, you can tell the edge of it. See how it's not twisted? Okay. And I just go through, cut them all out the same. and it makes a wonderful pan of biscuits. Take all your leftovers, mix them together there. I wish there was some way you could feel the texture of the dough, because that's what you need to know. And as you can see, it's firm enough, it don't fall apart, but yet it's not overworked. It's just got enough moisture in it to hold it together. You know what? I forgot to put the sour cream in. There it sits. Sour cream does make makes it a little moisture, but I don't think we'll have trouble with these. Get carried away talking, and you forget your business, as Mama says. Pay attention to your business. I'm not going to rework them. It could overwork them just to get the sour cream in there, because we make them with and without. But I did intend to put a little scoop in there. So when you make yours, put a dollop, a good tablespoon, a good hefty tablespoon in there, and they'll be just fine. I'm going to save that little bit. I am going to make up a little bit more, because I'm going to make something else and I want a little extra dough. So I was planning on having a little extra anyway. So there they are. Biscuits ready for the oven. I've got the oven on 450. I would do 500, but the 450 is as high as Mama's Easy Bake will go. So let's get these in. But before I forget something else, I always do this. My granny done this, so I don't know if Mama does it or not. But I take a little bit of buttermilk and I pour it out in my hand. Not even enough to overflow. Just a little bit like that right there. And then, let me move you over here. I take that buttermilk can and I just pat my biscuits. This keeps any flour, sometimes biscuits will have white flour still in them, and it makes them nice and golden brown. So there we are. So let's get these in the oven and get them baking, and I'm going to make up just a little bit more dough for what we're going to do later. Hold on. Go ahead and show y'all this. I did make up just a little bit more dough. About a cup of flour, and I put a little sour cream in this batch, and put the Crisco just like I just showed y'all for the biscuits. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work this up, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do with it. I'm wanting to make a homemade chicken pot pie, and you can make it with biscuits, or you can make it with just a dough on top. And I was checking that to see if it doesn't need to be mixed in here, because it's just about right. So you can make it, and I'm going to roll this dough out and add it to the top of our chicken pot pie later on. So this could be counted as a two-part video. I'm showing you now how I made the topping for that chicken pot pie I'm going to make. So that's it. So you just stop before you cut out the biscuits, and you got your chicken pot pie. So it's just a biscuit. Actually, that right there is a little wet. If you find a wet spot, just put it in there and put a little bit more flour. Mix it up. You want it to hold together, but you don't want it to be hard. You don't want to overwork it. So I'm going to fold, fold, fold. I call it folding. Some folks probably call it kneading. But basically, you're just mixing that dry flour in with your wet ingredients till you get it to the consistency you need it. And you do need it different consistencies for different things. Now, chicken and dumplings is one thing, depending on what kind you like. In the South, we have what we call slick dumplings, or slickums, they call them. Or you have fluffy dumplings. And a lot of people only like one kind. I like both kinds. Mama likes the fluffy. I like either or. And they taste very similar. It's just textural. So, and there you go. So that is going to be, you can see it's not sticky now at all. It's got just enough flour on it. I'm going to wrap this up in saran wrap and keep it for a little while. And then when I get the chicken pot pie put together, then I will probably just pat this out. I probably won't roll it out. Probably just pat it out and put a topping on it. Might do little biscuits on it. I did big biscuits, I have before, but sometimes that you get too much biscuit for your well, the juice and the chicken and the vegetables and all that. For me. Now, that's just me talking. So, I'm going to show you how we do that in just a little while. That's going to be supper tonight. So, I'm going to set this aside. And the reason I want to go ahead and do it is I got the mat, I got the flour, I got the mess. Why not go ahead and make the dough? And it won't hurt a thing. And there it is. Ready to go for chicken pot pie. So y'all stick around for that too. Now we're still waiting on the biscuits, so you'll hold on just another second. Well, folks, here is the finished product. It took them about 13 minutes in the oven, and there you can see no dry flour on the top, just beautiful golden brown. And look how high they raised. I didn't twist that cutter. So look how good they are. I have to brag on them because they are good. If you make something good, shoot, it's good. Mama's gonna love them. I'm gonna fix some gravy, and we'll have breakfast or brunch. This may be titled as brunch. I get up early, and Mama's back there working on cookbooks, and so I said, Mama, you want me to make some breakfast? She said, do I ever? I'd like to have some biscuits and gravy. I said, well, Mama, you shall have them. And here they are. So there's the biscuits. So give this a try, folks. And if I was you, I'd add a little dollop of sour cream. As you can see, it don't seem to hurt the integrity of them. But I normally do. And we'll be back a little later to cook a little bit more. But for you folks who have been asking about, do we make biscuits? There we go. Y'all enjoy your day. Bye.